Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning all things automotive car talk show, In Wheel Time. Just ahead, a review of our new car of the week, the all-new 2021 Ford F-150. We'll have This Week in Auto History, the Cruise-In calendar, and the stories making auto news headlines. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time car show for Saturday, January 6th, 2021. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zekin sitting right across the way over there. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us. And we're going to go back up to the great Northwest, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go up and talk once again to our favorite off-roading duo from the left coast. It's Andy and Mercedes Lilienthal and the Mitsubishi Pajero. Hi, how y'all doing?
Freezing yourself? Nice and cold. How are you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you look a little chilly up there. What is the current temperature?
I think 39.
39.
It's not raining, so that's good.
Well, we missed you last week, I have to tell you, Mercedes, so I'm glad that you're there to kind of balance things out.
She was drinking coffee.
Was that what it was?
That's what
I was listening in the other room.
Yeah, we're listening in the other room. Yes, I know. We learned everything about worn winches from our dear friend Andy, and I'm sure that you hear more about that than anything else in your life, so we'll just let that play out. So
I might know a thing or two.
Yeah, apparently so. So, last week we heard for the first time about a thing called a Mitsubishi Pajero, and I guess that's how you pronounce it. So,
yes.
You guys will have to bring us up to speed because we were on the other vehicle for weeks and weeks and weeks, and now all of a sudden this mystery vehicle appears called the Mitsubishi Pajero. So I'll let you lead the way and tell us what the thing is about.
Sure. So the Pajero was sold alongside the Montero. So maybe you remember the Mitsubishi Montero.
Yes,
right.
Of course we do.
Sold in the U.S., I believe, from 84 until 2002 or so, or 4. I don't remember the exact end date, in 3 different generations. So they were sold as Montero in the United States. They were sold as Pajero in Japan and Australia, New Zealand, those kind of places. So just a different name for different places.
And also a different power plant, too.
Different power plants,
Pajeros
right.
are diesels, whereas Monteros are gasoline.
Well, they actually did. Sorry to nerd jack the conversation.
You'll
be sleeping on the couch.
He's that missing husband.
Well, so the Pajeros were sold with gas engines as well. The U.S. didn't get the diesels.
Minor detail.
But because the U.S. has a 25-year import law, you can import cars that weren't officially sold in the United States once they're 25 years old, and that's what we have. So we have one here and one here.
There.
We'll show you in a second here. So if you want to, should we go show them?
All right.
Okay.
Let's see if I can flip us around. Let me see.
39 degrees. Is there snow on the ground?
I was about to ask.
No snow. Just nice and wet.
So this one right here is a 91. This is a 91 Mitsubishi Pajero XP. And the white one over here is a 92 Mitsubishi Pajero XR2. So you can see initially the biggest difference between these two is this one has the big over flares. This one has just standard flares molded into the sheet metal. The only other major difference between these two from the factory are the gear ratios. So this one's got 462 gears. This one's got 488 gears. So this one's a little quicker off the line. So. But
they're both slow.
They're not dragsters by any means.
Are they both diesels?
Both are diesels. So they're both powered by a 2.5-liter turbocharged intercooled diesel. Makes about 100 horsepower and about 170 foot-pounds of torque. So it's definitely, you can cruise at 70 miles an hour, no problem. That's not an issue. It just takes a while to get there. So, but once you're in forward low, you've got that low-end torque. And it's great for off-road. We're actually going to take the white one out to the Oregon coast today and go do some dune wheeling today. So and they're great. So, but as you can see here on the 91, we've got a bit of a different setup here. We've got an ARB bumper. We've got the big light force lights. We've got our Warn M8000 winch up front here for recovery duty. And so this is the vehicle that we took on the 2020 Alcan 5000 which was our trip up to the Arctic for it's a crazy winter road rally.
Ice and snow road rally for almost 6,000 miles.
So other modifications we have to this, we've got our Rhino rack, roof rack. We've got some Max Trax attraction boards up on the roof. We've got our Demo shovel. This one's currently running on a 33-inch Nitto Ridge Grappler tire mounted to some 1552 analogs. Those are going to be a 16 by 7.5 with a 0 offset. So the tires are specifically 285, 75, 16s. It's kind of a hybrid mud terrain, all-terrain tire. When we went to the Arctic, however, we used the Nitto Exo Grapplers, which were a studded 3-peak rated tire. So we've got custom rock sliders on the front, on the sides here as well to protect the rocker panels. I found out that lesson early on in my four-wheeling career, that it's better to have them before you go out wheeling than after you ruin your rocker panels. So
to talk about the tank too.
Yep. So it's got a long-range automotive tank brought in by Long Range America, auxiliary fuel tank. So that adds an additional 13 gallons. So we've got about 500 to 550 miles of range on this little thing. What used to be around 250 to 300.
That really helped during the rally. Oh my God.
Yeah, I would say it'd be a tremendous amount of help.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
my question is,
one of our favorite features is on the inside, actually. And I'll have Mercedes come on over here. So these are Schielmann Vario F heated seats from Germany. So these are the most comfortable orthopedic and heated seats I've ever used, and these kept our butts comfortable and warm on the Alcan 5000. So these could be probably one of our favorite things on this vehicle. They're just, you can just drive and drive and drive without any fatigue. So
now, is that factory or something?
Those
you've
are your
added?
upgrade.
No,
these
were
are
not
aftermarket.
factory. So I don't know if you can see the entire vehicle here, but you can see it's a short wheelbase. This
Very.
is another thing that the U.S. did not get the short wheelbase in the second generation Montero. If you remember from, I think it was 84 to 91 in the U.S., the Dodge Raider and Mitsubishi Montero were both sold as two-door SUVs with either a 2.6-liter carbureted four-cylinder or a 3-liter fuel-injected V6. So,
Can I hit the pause button here for just a second?
Sure.
sure.
So I want to ask you, since we're talking about Mitsubishi here, what the hell happened to Mitsubishi? They just went right down the toilet.
Well, I wouldn't say they went right down the toilet, but they certainly changed. So the focus, at some point in the early 2000s, somebody made a conscious decision to change the way the company was going to go. I'm not sure why they did what they did in the U.S., but the company has improved their sales over the last 7 years, which is good. But I think they've shifted their focus. I think their focus is going to be more electric vehicles, and their global philosophy is what they call small but beautiful, which is a compact, small car focus. But they do have a new 2022 Outlander coming out, which I think they're putting a lot of hope in. But everyone thinks, oh my gosh, they even around. Well, they actually are around, and they've actually increased their sales every year for the last 7 years, except for last year, where the only three companies that did improve sales were Mazda, Alfa Romeo, and Volvo, and those were by about single digits, if that. So
Andy, I got a question, Andy. You mentioned that you had the auxiliary fuel tank, 16.2 gallons, I think you said, and with all the supplies and the gear and everything, is weight a concern when you're doing the Alcon?
Well, when we do the Alcan, so we did remove the back seat, which weighs about, 70 pounds. The auxiliary fuel tank doesn't really weigh a whole lot more. I think we calculated it was like 70 pounds total extra
About
weight.
empty, yeah.
And so then you put, 13 gallons of fuel in there. We upgraded the rear springs to a long wheelbase Montero spring. So that's going to be a higher spring rate. And so that helps. It didn't sag or anything like that. So,
But so far as fuel mileage?
Oh, in terms of fuel mileage, we typically get between 18 and 22 miles a gallon combined with this little thing. So it's not too terribly bad. It's still better than I had a 2001 Jeep Cherokee that I couldn't wring 16 miles out of if I tried.
And
so,
what gear did you say was in this one?
490.
These are 462 gears.
462. The other one was the 488s.
Correct. Yep. So this one, actually is a little bit better on the highway in terms of cruising. It just takes longer to get there. But I can show you the other one. The other one's kind of interesting, simply because it's a slightly different trim level. So you've got the larger over flares. This one's running also a 33-inch tire, but these are going to be a tall, skinny. These are 255/85 16s. And then these are 1552 Turbo Mac wheels. But so both of these have top mount intercoolers. They're fed by a vent here in the grill, and then that goes to this top mount intercooler. This one, we actually put a brand new engine in it. So this has a brand new Hyundai made engine. So at some point, Hyundai bought the tooling from Mitsubishi to keep manufacturing this engine. So this engine is called a 4D56, and the Hyundai one, which is brand new from South Korea, is a D4BF. So this one has a little bit better metallurgy, water-cooled turbo, just some newer things. But this engine has like 2,000 miles on it. So, and then I just got a boost gauge and an exhaust gas temperature gauge that I'm going to be putting in this, so we can tune it, maybe make some more power with it.
You know, I have to interrupt here and just say to you, you know, if they made those vehicles today, they'd sell the heck out of them. I mean, they still look modern. They're relatable. I mean, everything about them. Matter of fact, the white one actually reminds me of the new Defender.
Oh, sure. Well, you know what? I think you're right. I think that I'm a two-door SUV guy because simply we don't need the space of a four-door. But you know, with the new Bronco coming out as a two-door, it kind of makes me wonder. And you know, the Wrangler also available on a two-door makes me wonder, like, are we going to see a resurgence in two-door SUVs, or even maybe two-door CUVs, because they're still sold around the world. So we'll see. But yeah, anyway, that's this one also has a custom bumper. This is a Warren rock crawler bumper that I had customized to fit. These are both body on frame vehicles, so customizing a bumper is not too terribly hard. This one also has the Warren Xeon 8-winch with the Spider and Nightline on there, which is a high visibility rope.
Well, sounds like somebody's well connected with Warren. I can't imagine anything.
Just a little.
We might know a product or two.
Yeah.
So are both of those the same wheelbase?
Yeah, they are. I think it's a 90-inch, 92-inch wheelbase, if I remember correctly.
It is short.
So,
Yeah.
It is short. I used to a few four-wheel drives before this. We had a Suzuki Sidekick that we took all over the place. And that little thing was a mountain goat, but it only had, I believe, an 88-inch wheelbase. So that sucker would get squirrely, especially in snow. But so I can open the hood real quick to show you what it looks like.
Yeah.
So why choose the I'm assuming dark gray one over the white one for the Alcan 500? What made you make that decision between the two trucks?
Well, you know, the gray one was in better condition and had lower miles, and we were doing a lot of work on it anyway, so we decided to choose that one for the Alcan 5000.
Okay, so no specific reason other than that was the one you wanted.
It was further along.
Well, there's actually there is another. Well, the lower, I guess it's the higher gear ratio,
right,
is better at speed. So that was one thing. The other thing was, as I mentioned, this thing has a brand new engine in it, and at the time, this thing had a cracked block, and so we weren't about to take it.
No.
And this is a lesson for anybody with older cars: is keep up on the maintenance, because if you don't, things happen. And in which case, I stupidly didn't replace the thermostat when it should have been replaced, and I didn't even think about it, to be honest. And one day, saw the temp gauge spike, and I couldn't get it to cool down. Couldn't get it to cool down. I pulled over; it was dripping antifreeze. And I could not find where it was coming from. The hoses were all good. Radiator wasn't cracked. I could not figure it out. Anyway, long story short, the block had a hairline crack in it because once that thermostat did open up, it shocked the block with cold antifreeze, cracked it. So
and of course we were headed to an off-road event too. So
when you're in a situation like that and you have a car that is rare, you sort of think to yourself, well, what do I do? Do I scrap it and take the money, or do I invest more money into it and put a new engine in it? And I love the thing. It's great. So we thought,
Let's throw some money at it, right?
So, how,
more money.
Is it too offensive to ask if how much does a new engine cost?
Yeah, what the engine
So
cost.
this one I believe was $3,300.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
nothing.
That's not bad at all.
I think since then they've increased in price, but we ordered it from Good Karma out of Florida, which is the same gentleman who has the Delica that we bought, the new L400.
That's
I
right.
was going to ask where you got these two from.
Right. From, these are actually both Texas.
Yeah.
These are both brought in from Texas.
And you didn't come and see us when you were here?
Shame.
we didn't know you guys at that point yet.
Ironically, this one came from Houston. The funny story behind this, and I'll make it brief, is I had found another one in Arizona. It was a Montero, but it got sold. And then I found this on Craigslist in Denver. And I thought, well, that's weird because the guy said it was in Houston. I thought this sounds like a scam or something.
Right.
So I called the guy and he says, you know what? I'm in Houston. I don't get a whole lot of people after these in Houston. So I advertise them in the mountain states. So, well, small world being what it is, turns out that my buddy is friends with the guy who had this and had already seen the car just because he thought it was interesting.
Of course, that was in stock condition,
So
and
he
it
went-
needed some love, too.
So he went and did a Facebook Live or kind of like a Zoom like this with us, walked all around it, drove it
Drove
so
it.
we could see it. And he said, it's really nice. So we flew down there we
With one-way tickets.
We drove it back to Portland, Oregon. And then 4, 5, 6 months later, my buddy in Austin says, hey, there's one of these Pajeros by me. I said, oh, no kidding. What does he want for it? And he told me and my jaw hit the ground because he was basically giving it away. And so we did the
Bought
same
another
thing.
plane ticket.
Bought another plane
Right, one way.
And we,
There's nothing like, having a one-way ticket with money in hand that you're trying to fly with, plus zip ties, duct tape, like Gorilla Tape, and bed sheets, because we were bringing rims back, right? So we knew that the rims were going to be dirty. But, I mean, we felt like either thieves that we were going to do some naughty things or like drug runners, because who else travels with some basic tools, Gorilla Tape and zip ties in a backpack?
Well, you hit it on the head, that's for sure.
Yeah, right, and $8,500 in cash. So we were a little nervous trying to go through the checkpoints with TSA.
And coming from Portland, Oregon.
Right, no kidding.
Show me your papers.
Yeah, what can happen here, right?
Zigzag.
So these are actually both Texas cars. They had zero rust. They were in super great shape. That's one of the things with the Japanese domestic market vehicles is they do salt the roads in parts of Japan, in the northern parts and in the mountains. So if you get a vehicle from there, it can be kind of rusty. But we've had the gray one that we took on the Alcan. We've had that underbody treated with a product called Pore 15, which inhibits rust. So we just figured we needed to do that. So
On all of our vehicles.
yeah, we did that. We did that on the van, and we have to do it here on the white Pajero next.
Well,
So-
I have to tell you both that, since they're both Texas vehicles, you realize that you were pronouncing the name wrong. Here, it's called a Mitsubishi Pajero.
Right.
Yeah, Pajero, yeah.
That's right. So I'm also not going to get too far into this, but there's a reason.
Oh, you already have.
There's a reason that they sold them as Monteros here versus Pajero.
Oh, gosh,
yeah,
we're going to go there?
Yeah, because
I love
Pajero
that.
in Spanish means something that's not great. I'll let you look
Yeah,
at it.
leave that on camera.
Well, isn't that why you carry duct tape and all that other stuff with you?
Yeah. So these
We like
were
to make people
all the
smile.
countries that have any Spanish affiliation got these as Monteros. Let's just put it that way. So it's a little bit like the old Nova.
Look at that, Conrad.
You
So,
do realize they're Googling this.
We may or may not have a Texas flag in this one too, just so you know. So
Shout out to John and John.
yeah, John and John went and looked at this thing and told me if I didn't buy it, they were going to buy it.
So, of course, we had to fly down on bikes. We didn't want John to get it. Sorry, John.
John
That's
did
right.
end up with his own. So
Very cool.
Wonderful.
Very cool.
That's
Okay.
good stuff.
Yep. Conrad looked it up.
Yeah,
and now
I
he's
looked it
laughing.
up. Yeah, that's
Told you they're
actually too
Googling
funny.
it.
Oh my God!
All right, so
put
somebody,
the duct
let me
tape on
see.
it if you go down to Mexico. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So
And cash.
take the badges off. Actually, the funny thing about it is somebody actually asked about it in the group. They're like, has anybody taken one of these down through Mexico? And did anybody say anything? And one guy said he drove past a middle school and all the boys were laughing and pointing. So
So does the meaning change, be it right hand or left hand drive?
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
Have you looked this up?
I'm going to leave that alone.
Before you say that, you need to look at what it means.
So that's why it has a Hyundai engine in it, right?
I don't know. Not sure on that one.
No, go back and look at.
It's a joke.
Go
about the
look
logo.
at the very first Hyundai symbol, the Hyundai logo, and then tie that back to this. You will
original.
fall over laughing when you put the two of them together.
It's actually the meaning, how the logo became what it is today. So you have to look at the origination of the logo.
The origination of the logo.
So one day when you got nothing to do,
Oh, my God.
check it out.
That is
I will
just
look
way
that
too
up.
funny. That
Yeah,
is way-
be sure
way
and look
too
that
funny.
up.
Send your comments to info@inrealtime.com.
Yep. So I guess
So
we're going to
anyway.
continue to call it a Pajero. That's for sure.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
And we actually have quite a fair following of Latin American folks on this, so we may get re-rated on this.
You may. If not, you may be rebranded as a comedy show.
Well, we really appreciate you guys taking the time to show us around your trucks. Interesting trucks. My sister had one. She lived in Cairo.
Monterey?
No, she lived in Cairo, Egypt for 6 years, and she loved it. That was their vehicle of choice over there. So, that
Cool.
The Pajero by name is relatively worldwide, and understandable why in this part of the world they changed it to Montero.
Right.
Lessons
so,
learned.
Also, the Montero Pajero platform is the most winning platform in the Dakar Rally history as
Wow.
well. So Mitsubishi has still has a reputation for rally and racing heritage, and these are their most winningest off-road.
An honorable history.
Yeah,
cool.
Very good, very good. Okay, well, y'all go find someplace warm.
Yes, and try and hopefully some alcoholic beverages to get through what we just went through with you. Our apologies.
Add some Kahlua to that coffee.
What is it, like 8:30 in the morning there?
Yeah, almost 8:30.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. We love you both. Thank you very much, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, like in about
All
10
right,
minutes.
sounds good.
We'll get you in bet
All right.
10.
Oh my God.
So, that'll be funny when they go look the origins up of that.
No, let's not. My God.
They're always a good interview, though. He's
Great
got so
folks.
much excitement.
Great folks. Oh, very knowledgeable.
And she's got good commentary over
Both
the
of them.
top.
Both of them very knowledgeable
but
about
you
the
can tell
product.
they really have a passion for the Mitsubishi brand.
Absolutely.
So, just before we got into all of that, I received a text message
From Mitsubishi.
From the FCC. Oh, no, we're not on the radio anymore. We don't get those anymore.
worse
like we
than
used to.
all of that.
Uh-oh.
Nick and I are watching you. My daughter Katie tells me.
Hi, Nick. Hi, Katie.
From
Yes,
Denver.
Going,
from
Dad,
Denver.
you're embarrassing us. Again.
Well, once again, your dad has done it, and
He still loves you,
Trying to make you proud.
and they still love you, Don.
yeah, how's that working out for you? Time now for this hour's car review. It is a 2021 Ford F-150, all new from the ground up, and there it is. You're going, wait a minute, that just looked like last year's. Well, it does on purpose. 95% new content for the new Ford F-150. Here are the available trim levels. It's the XL, the XLT, the Lariat, the King Ranch, the Platinum, and the Limited. Well, I had the 4x4 Super Crew Platinum. 3 cabs are available: regular, Super Cab, which is the extended one, or the Super Crew, which is the 4-door crew, which is what I had. It's a full-size half-ton pickup truck, seats up to 5 passengers. I forget a bench in it in the base model, where you can get 6, I guess, in there. Exterior changes, as I mentioned, it is all new for 2021. New bodywork doesn't stray too far from the outgoing model. Different grills and wheels for each trim level. Still with all aluminum bodywork. That is equal to its own. What?
I don't know. You're just reading what you wrote.
I did, because I
Were
was
you
distracted.
drinking when you wrote that?
No, I'm
Is this
still back.
3
Oh,
margaritas
no,
in?
he's drinking when he's reading it.
I'm
That's
still
his problem.
back on the Pajero. Still with all aluminum bodywork.
Here, let me give you a hand.
New tie-down cleats in the bed.
How about that interior?
Here, let me go ahead
There
and
you
take
go.
care of all of
There
this
you
over
go.
there. The interior highlights include the new 12-inch center screen that is horizontal on top of the dash with split screen capability. New Max recline seats that fold flat, napping capable, fold flat rear seat option with lockable storage back there. That's all new. Cargo trunk room, plenty of it, both inside and out, needless to say. What I like about it, well, Ford can now challenge Ram with innovative extras and options. This one that I drove had the 5-liter V8, which is good for 400 horsepower, 410 pound-feet of torque. The new hybrid EcoBoost V6 plus electric turns out up to 430 horsepower. Transmission for mine was the 10-speed automatic, tow rating up to 14,000 pounds.
Wow.
Haul rating up to 3,000 pounds. I got 18.1 miles per gallon over 109.3 miles. What I liked about it, plenty of power with the straight V8. What could use improvement? Absolutely nothing, honey. Ride and handling, I love that ride and handling. It's smoother than many sedans that I drive. Pricing, base trim price on it is $30,135. That will get you into an F-150. Price is tested, $59,410. Base model price, $28,940. Competitors to the vehicle in base size and price. Ram 1500 starts at $32,245. The Chevy Silverado, $28,600. And the Tundra, $33,825. And that is the review of the 2021 Ford F-150. Sorry, I had to cut you off because I would never have made it through.
Why did you cut me off, though? I know he's annoying. I understand that. But you cut me off,
well,
too.
you're right next to me.
I sat in that
easy.
truck that you had, and it is a nice truck. That's very roomy, very technologically advanced. It's a really nice truck.
It's a completely different
very
change
nice.
from the outgoing model.
And a lot of the things that I didn't like, they've addressed. And I knew they were doing it for me, but I really like it. I'm going to save the rest of my comments for my turn to review it.
Yeah, because you're driving it this week. Well, actually, not the same one. You're driving the hybrid.
The hybrid, yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Time now for the cruise-in calendar. Do you happen to have that nearby?
Yeah, there's a number of things going on. Like I said, the Houston F-Body meet is going to be at Fountain Lake Drive next Saturday at 3 p.m. to 8
The
p.m.
F-Body meet.
Camaro's Firebirds.
Okay.
Those who are them, they know who they are.
Well,
so for the rest of our listeners, the Camaro Firebird meet here in Houston.
All right.
Like Lone Star Throwdown, Saturday the 27th is going to be Hot Rods and Harleys up on North Point Drive in Kingwood at the Harley Davidson store. There's going to be a track day out at what's the Hitchcock. They're going to have a track day March 5th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. At First Street and Avenue G in Hitchcock. Sign-ups required. The Saturday, April 27th, is going to be the Camaro Car Show on the Kemah Boardwalk. So if you got a Camaro, you're going to want to go to that. And you're such a fan of the 69s, I'm sure there will be quite a number of 69 Camaros will show up for that.
With the DZ motor.
302, right. Yeah. And then, still some more stuff ahead in the future. On April 10th, Planet Ford, the Mustang Club of Houston is going to have their show as well. So with that, I'll give it back to you there, Don.
All right.
Back to you, Don.
Back to you, Don. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Playing those stacks of wax back to back.
Okay. So was that one of your phrases?
No, that was not
one of.
No, it was not. Thank you very much. That was from the 50s, 60s, back in that era. All right.
Stacks of wax.
Back to back. In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, inwheeltime.com, and Twitch. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict, among others. In Wheel Time Car Show continues after a quick break. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, February 20th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone's invited. You will see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 in Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, February 20th, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you with the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, February 20th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupi's in Katy, weather permitting. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.